Simply speaking, the Gaza Strip timeline. Against the backdrop of the war between Israel and terrorists from the Gaza Strip, let us briefly remember who controlled this land recently and shaped it as we know it today. Though it has to be mentioned that the city of Gaza itself is one of the most ancient cities of the region, mentioned since 15th century BC. In 1517, together with the whole surrounding Palestine, including what is now Israel and the most of Egypt, it was conquered from Egyptian Mamluks by Selim the Grim, Sultan of the Ottoman Empire, to which it consequentially belonged for the next 400 years, with a short break when it was conquered by Napoleon for about 30 years. Anyway, in 1917, close to the end of the World War I, British General Edmund Allenby defeated Turks in Palestine so that it went under the British administration known as Mandatory Palestine. It lasted for the next 30 years until 1947, and the next year, as the State of Israel proclaimed its foundation, the War of Independence broke out immediately, and as a result, Gaza Strip was conquered again, this time by Egypt. In 1956, during the Suez Crisis, Israel occupied Gaza Strip, but in just 3 months surrendered it back to Egypt under the pressure from the United Nations and the Soviet Union. Gaza Strip stayed part of Egypt until 1967, when countries of the Arab League, Syria, Jordan, Saudi Arabia and Iraq, under the leadership of Egypt, prepared an assault on Israel, and Israel very timely launched a preemptive strike known as the Six-Day War. As a result, all the wannabe aggressors were defeated, Gaza Strip was taken under control of Israeli armed forces, and for the next 38 years between 1967 and 2005, Gaza Strip remains under Israeli control. In 2005, around 9,000 of Jewish settlers lived in Gaza Strip when Israel has evacuated them and withdrew its troops. Gaza Strip then became a part of Palestinian autonomy until in 2007 the control of Gaza Strip was finally seized by Hamas after they once won elections, and those were the last elections in Gaza Strip so far in 2023. Since then, the population of Gaza Strip continued to grow, together with political and military power of Hamas, largely due to the immense financial and military help from Iran and other foreign sources. In 2009, Gunnar Heinsoh wrote for the Wall Street Journal, "The West basically created a new Near Eastern people in Gaza that at current trends will reach 3 million in 2040. Within that period, Gazans may alter the justifications and directions of their aggression, but are unlikely to stop the aggression itself." The Hamas-Fatah truce of June 2007 allowed the Islamists again to direct all their energy on attacking Israel. The West pays for food, schools, medicine and housing, while Muslim nations help out with military hardware. Unrestrained by such necessities as having to earn a living, the young have plenty of time on their hands for digging tunnels, smuggling, assembling missiles, and firing 4,500 of them at Israel since 2006. End quote. Interestingly, Israeli authorities indirectly supported Hamas, in part because it opposes the legitimate Palestinian Fatah party and supposedly discredits the very idea of an independent Palestinian state. Recently, in October 2023, a political correspondent, Tal Schneider, for the Times of Isael quotes far-right member of Israeli parliament, Knesset, Bezalel Smotrich, now the finance minister in the hardline government and leader of the religious Zionism party. As he said in 2015, most of the time Israeli policy was to treat the Palestinian Authority as a burden and Hamas as an asset. Tal Schneider then adds that according to various reports, present-day Israeli Premier Minister Benjamin Netanyahu made a similar point at the Likud faction meeting in early 2019, when he was quoted as saying that those who oppose a Palestinian state should support the transfer of funds to Gaza because maintaining the separation between the Palestinian Authority in the West Bank and Hamas in Gaza would prevent the establishment of a Palestinian state. If you think of it, such motivations make all the hell that broke loose on Israel on the 7th of October 2023 somewhat less unfathomable.